Hey, this is Charlotte Salcedo with PhotoshopLovers.com, and I am here with a tutorial of things that every graphic designer needs. And I want to start off with number 1. The first thing that a graphic designer will need is a really powerful desktop, because the Adobe Creative Suite requires a lot of power. And so you're going to need a computer with these specs. And I highly recommend this particular model. This is the cheapest computer that I could find under my budget for like the entry-level graphic design was under $1,500, where you could get the most powerful computer for running Photoshop and Adobe Creative Suite. And this computer I found online for $1,264. Not bad. It comes with Core i7, 16 gigs of memory, 2 terabyte hard drive. The graphics card I don't know. It's okay. And then the Blu-ray combo drive. But if you really want to be a serious graphic designer, you want to get these specs. And this is a little bit over the budget, but it has a much better graphics card. It's got a 2 terabyte hard drive and 30 gigs of RAM, which is even better. This is something that you can run all of the programs in Creative Suite comfortably, I feel, because if you're going to do any video editing with Premiere and After Effects, you're going to have some crash issues. Then, of course, if you're only running Adobe Photoshop, then this might suit you well if you're not doing much. But definitely, this is what you need. So moving on. Now, one of the things that I really wish that someone would have told me in graphic design school is about the monitor. I learned this. Where is the monitor? Hold on. Well, I'll tell you about the monitor after I tell you about this little thingy. You're going to need an external hard drive. I definitely recommend this particular brand. I have this myself, and it's a terabyte, and it's $59.99, and it comes in cool colors. And I've had it for about 6 months. It works perfectly fine for me, and I'm pretty abusive. I use the thing constantly, and I have lots of stuff stored on it. And it has not failed me. So it's really, really great. And it comes with a 3-year warranty, by the way. So, and it has 5 stars. So it's really, really great monitor. Let me find, I mean hard drive, not monitor. Let me find the monitor for you. It's an Asus. Where is it? Okay, this is the monitor that I have. And before I purchased a monitor, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of cross comparisons to other monitors that were more expensive. I weighed the pros and cons of getting a 4K monitor and all that. I'm going to tell you that this is probably the best purchase I've ever made in my entire life. Like I said, when I was doing, I thought I had a really good screen and I thought everything was going great until I had some photographs that I was editing and the girl told me that I made her like a Oompa Loompa. So, I mean, you learn these things as you go, but you want to purchase a monitor that is professional. And this, my friend, if you've ever bought a monitor and you have to like screw with all the color settings and stuff like that, this and half the time you don't know what you're doing. You need to calibrate it. Well, this monitor comes pre-calibrated. Okay, it has you can swivel it from like this, like front. Well, you can just like move it around. Okay, so and it's pretty freaking awesome. Not only that, I want to tell you that the reason why I bought this monitor is because I ever noticed how like when you're designing something and then you print it out, it looks completely different than what was on the screen? And I had that problem since I started design school. The universities, nobody, my instructors, nobody could tell me, nobody knew. And until I figured this out for myself, a lot of times you're going to figure out stuff on your own because nobody wants to tell you anything. And this was one of the things that no one ever told me, and I wish they did. And the monitor is probably, if not the most crucial thing to a graphic designer. It is for me. I mean, without my monitor, I'm basically blind. Because if you put another monitor there, I could be the best graphic designer in the world, but the colors are going to look screwed up when it gets printed out or sent across the web because it's going to look different to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So the next thing I want to mention is what you need is a Wacom Intuos Pro. Now, before I bought the Wacom Intuos Pro, I had a Bamboo. I'm not going to lie. And I have all of the cool features and the wireless settings on there, but I was so used to using the Bamboo that I never even used the shortcuts and all the fancy stuff, and it actually kind of gets in my way. So, I mean, and also want to mention, if you plan on getting the larger tablet of the Wacom Intuos Pro, the small tablet is actually huge. If you have the Bamboo tablet, let's look at the Bamboo tablet, okay? Let's see. This is the tablet I had, okay? And when I bought this, it was a little bit more expensive, but this tablet works really well. It's actually quite smaller, as you can see. This one is smaller, but the tablet that I have, the Intuos Pro, it's actually much bigger. It's like, let's see here. It's a little bit out to here. So it's like a larger tablet. Even though you're buying a small Intuos Pro, don't buy the medium version because if you go from the Bamboo to the small one, because the Bamboo is so much smaller, you're going to know that it's actually bigger. You don't really need anything bigger than that because it's going to be too big for your desk. You don't need some large, whopping, tablet. You don't really need that. The reason why I switched to the Intuos Pro is because the Bamboo, it lacks the amount of detail, and it's not as pressure. It doesn't have pressure sensitivity, I don't think. I don't know. I just found that I couldn't get the fine details in. So that's why I switched to the Intuos Pro. I wish I would have done, it says, and passive pressure sensitive pen. So it's not like fully pressure sensitive. It's kind of like half-ass pressure sensitive. So I found myself like pressing really, really hard, and like I swear to God, like I almost like took my finger off because like that little bump that you get while you're writing, like right on your finger. I had to put a Band-Aid on my finger because it was so hard to draw with it. I really needed a better tablet. I mean, I had to take breaks from designing and stuff because it was a little bit painful. But it's actually a really good pen to start out with. So I would recommend starting out with it because the Intuos Pro is a little bit more expensive. And I actually bought mine. I actually bought mine refurbished. Let's see if I can find my tablet. This is the one I have, but mine's wireless. I think this is it. Yeah. Yeah, this is the one I have. Definitely. And it comes with the nib, and oh yeah, this is exactly what I have. So, yeah, but I got mine refurbished and I got the small one. So this is exactly what I have. I have everything that's here. So, as you can see, it's a little bit cheaper. If you go with the medium or the large, it's more expensive, but you don't really need a large one. I mean, it works just fine for me. It's actually pretty large. The next thing that you're going to need is a Pinterest account. Pinterest, this is my pen board, okay? The reason why you're going to need a Pinterest account is because if you're like saving, see all of the stuff that I've penned? These are ideals on Alice in Wonderland projects that I can do, like creative projects like photo manipulations and stuff. So I put together all this so I can make some really cool Alice art because I really love Alice in Wonderland. And I do a lot of digital manipulations on my own free time. And I'm going to show you, let's say you can pin stuff here because it shows like the pin button. But let's say that you wanted to pin stuff like on DeviantArt or other places on the web. Well, a pin button's not going to show up unless that website has it like programmed into there. But there's a shortcut around. There's help for us yet. If you go to the Google Chrome store, chrome.google.com, you can install the Pin It button and the Pin Interest tab. And then you can pen anything you want, anything your heart's desired. I warn you, you may not sleep for a few days, but it is the most useful thing. And it saves me from, like before, I would have to save all of these pictures to my hard drive. And then I probably would lose them and they would get disorganized. Here, everything is neatly organized and fancy little boards. And I'm going to show you another one. I've got mermaids. Okay. I did this one. This is my penny. I did this one and this one. And this one and this one. So I added my mermaids to it too. But as you can see, I really love mermaids and fantasy. Yes. And so these are really cool ideals for photo manipulations if you want to do manips. See, this is a manipulation I did. And as you can see, this is one of my most popular pieces, actually. So, I mean, that's what you do on Pinterest. And so that way you keep all of your ideals organized. It's great for working on projects. So if you're researching like a client, you know, if you're researching logos for a client, you can create them a pen board instead of sending files back and forth to each other. So that saves a lot of time and a lot of, you know, resources and gigabytes from having to upload and download stuff off the internet. You can just share across the board, you know. You can just share your pen board with their Pinterest. So the next thing that you will need is a DeviantArt membership. I'm going to show you why DeviantArt is so amazing. Okay, so if you're looking at DeviantArt, you'll see this is Enchanted Whispers art. And this is Jessica Elaine Art, who owns Enchanted Whispers art. If you have been a graphic designer, or if you're anybody on the internet, if you know Jessica Elaine is pretty damn famous designer, okay? Or artist. So basically, I've networked with her. I've collaborated with a lot of these artists, networking and stuff like that. So DeviantArt is crucial to your career because you're collaborating and you're creating a community with other designers just like you. And you can also get critiques, feedback, and jobs, whatever you need on here, it's pretty much. But the best thing that I'm on here for, and where you see a lot of my pretty much everything that I get, is off of DeviantArt. And look at all the cool Photoshop brushes. And that's just not it. You can also get inspiration from here. Digital art. Not everything on here is beautiful though, but they're learning, I guess. Let's see. I don't see anything really good. There's that. And I don't know, you'll find all kinds of cool art. There's people who just draw horses. There's people manipulating dreams. I'll just show you my stuff. How's that? This is a Pocahontas I did. I used most of the resources from Deviant Art. It did the tree. If you've ever watched Pocahontas, there's a tree that talks and there's a hummingbird, and I didn't have the raccoon, but you don't want to put too much stuff in a piece because then it becomes too busy. So this was the before. Okay. And this is an after. So you can see I did some major Photoshop plastic surgery. This is another piece that I did with using materials from Deviant Art. Somebody took a picture with hands with veins in them, and I thought it was really cool. And I said, hey, that looks like tree roots. And so I was going to make me, this piece is called the Tree of Life. So, if you've ever heard the story of Adam and Eve, this is what the Tree of Life looks like in my mind. So, unfortunately, I know my mind is a creepy place. Okay. So, Deviant Art membership, you don't have to pay for the membership, but I highly recommend it. I've been a Deviant member forever. I also have resources that I offer. I'm going to show them to you. I contribute to the community as well. So I have things. I actually went to a craft store and I took pictures of these. And it was so funny because the store people kept coming up to me and asking me, like, what are you doing? I guess they thought I was like an investigator or something. I said, I'm just a graphic designer. There's nothing to worry about. And then they started saying that they wanted to do what I did. It was so funny. But yeah, I totally I went to the store and I took pictures of all of these patterns and crafts and these beads and stuff because I actually needed them for my own personal self. And I'm not going to pay somebody because patterns are free. They're just things that you took a, I don't think Photoshop patterns should cost anything because there's really no effort into it. You just take a picture, you take a square snapshot of it, and then you turn it into a pattern. Simple. So I made these for me, but then I just decided to share them with everybody because I'm constantly glitterifying my text and stuff. So yeah, you definitely need a Deviant Art membership. So the next thing you will need is Adobe Creative Cloud membership. I have the cloud, and as you can see, you have community assets. Assets are something that you can share with other people. So if they have stuff on here and you can upload stuff and they can upload stuff, see this is a rare thing. I like stuff like this. I mean, it's very useful, and I wouldn't recommend stealing or pirating the Creative Cloud because it's only $19.99 a month if you have a student membership. Even if you're not a current student, as long as you have an email address, you can get it for $19.99 a month. And like I said, you need a diary and a sketchbook as well. These are the most crucial things that you need as a graphic designer. You should not live without them. I don't know how that you could be successful if you didn't have any of these things. So I really want to thank you for watching my channel. Please just subscribe if you like me. And as always, it was wonderful, my little Photoshop lovers, and enjoy your night.